The Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by the Weed Porn Daily Head Shop. We've got weed socks, we've got hemp wicks, we've got rolling papers, and we've got prints. That is our stock. It's a very limited selection at the moment, but what we do good. We've got affordable hemp wicks, we've got a broad selection of weed socks that are the most affordable that you can probably get out there. We're offering limited edition weed socks very soon, and we will talk about a limited edition run that we did recently with like a psychedelic pair of socks that were like a full print space galactic.
Do we have a pair left?
Print. Yeah, it's right there. I'm looking at one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome.
One for like display purposes.
Is the audio coming off really low?
Yeah.
Did we drop it again?
Life. No, I think that's because we dropped it. It's gonna be like up and down.
I was just gonna choose.
Yeah, choose to be loud sometimes, choose to be sucky on other occasions.
No.
But the Weed Porn Daily Head Shop is found at weedporndaily.com/shop. We've got weed socks, hemp wicks, all that stuff. Check it out. Really, we've become like a new source for people for their hemp wick. We're like a really new, great, affordable source for people internationally. A lot of people in Canada, a lot of people in Europe, a lot of people in Australia who aren't able to necessarily get access to hemp wick or even just a head shop. They're able to, access us online and get themselves some raw rolling papers, get themselves some weed socks, get themselves some hemp wick. A lot of things that are really, really like exotic and novelty in their territory. So check it out, weedporndaily.com/shop. And make sure to check out our advertising page, weedporndaily.com/advertising. It will be going through a massive revision very soon. I'm actually docking up a PDF to send out to potential clients, and it'll be posted up on the advertising page always. But as for now, the advertising page is very cut and dry. Just go over and you can buy website ads, like visual, graphic, sidebar, and main like area ads. And then you can get yourself some podcast ads where we do a more oral experience, either a what? Come on, baby.
Sorry.
I'm doing ads here, baby, and you're like looking at sperm.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I was looking at an article.
I'm gonna derive because it's like that.
You're so mean.
weedporndaily.com/advertising. That's weird. But you like messed it up.
Okay.
I won't scroll properly anymore.
weedporndaily.com/advertise. Come on, keep talking about
my stuff.
Your stuff.
No, man, you threw me off my rhythm. No, I'm just gonna go over here and smoke a bowl now. How about that? Angrily smoke a bowl. Not angrily. I'm gonna happily smoke this bowl. Hope you have your bowls packed, your hash nails heated. I hope you consumed your edibles approximately 17 minutes ago to like 27 minutes ago.
If not more.
If not more, depending on the dosage and your weight and all that. There's a lot of factors to consider. And as always, make sure your e-nails are calibrated and properly...
I think you said that already.
Huh? I said hash nails.
Oh.
E-nails are like...
Okay.
I guess it could be like all-encompassing. Make sure your domeless nails are heated up. Make sure your carb caps are really close by. Alright. Actually, I don't even know if we should take a hit. I don't know if I have weed to take a hit.
No, I think you should wait and save it. Barry, cut in.
Yeah, we'll cut in some previous bong rips from podcast Your and such.
What?
That was a space to cut them in. I just wanted a silent spot. I know you looked at me like, why were you silent? And I was like, I gotta have a spot to cut, baby. It'll seem seamless, but Yeah, so welcome.
You should like cut that right there, so you have the bong hit between me and the salad bar.
Just, and you're like, what's going on?
What? Why do you make that face?
Welcome to the WeedPornDaily podcast. I'm Grouch, the editor, owner, the dude behind the ass box. Sitting beside the lovely executive producer, Mrs. WeedPornDaily.
Hi.
You can follow her at Mrs.WPD, MRS.WPD, on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm more active on Instagram.
Find some behind-the-scenes WeedPornDaily office shenanigans.
Mostly it's just like pictures of him taking pictures for the shop. Or, him taking bong hits and stuff, which he already Instagrams already. Just from a different point of view.
Exactly, get that outside perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a bit of news to get into. We've got a bit of news of our own to discuss because, as always, people are fucking harassing us. As I venture slowly into the cannabis industry, I slowly keep stumbling upon these douchebags on the ground and tripping up on them and being like, oh, what is this? Oh. And insert company name here and such. I don't necessarily want to catcall any names right now, Leafly. Fucking, who else can I call out? Fuck, I just can't think of any names right now.
Well, Huff.
Fucking Hempwick Huff. Fucking...
You can't use the word Huff Socks to advertise your Huff Socks. We're not selling Huff Socks.
Yeah. No, you're not allowed to tag it Huff. You're not allowed to associate it at all with Huff.
Which is not what every other industry does.
Well, it's just like it's become like the word Q-tip. Like, people don't call them wheat socks, they call them Huff Socks.
Or like, can you get me some Kleenex?
Yeah.
Like, can you pass me a Kleenex?
Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
Or can I get a Band-Aid?
And we're getting into that debate now with Hempwick now. We're going to talk about that later.
Sorry.
Apparently we can't use the word Hempwick, or the phrase, or term, or however you'd like to coin it. Apparently it's a trademark in some people's books. So
and that is no. It's not that it's a trademark in some people's books. It's a trademark that they own, that they have a right to police.
I guess, yeah. We'll see if they have a right to police it. But we have plenty of news to get into. So let's get into that.
Before we start spilling hate.
Before we start fucking setting zeppelins on fire of cannabis.
So this is brought to us by the Huffington Post. HuffPost.
This is something that we saw. We see basically every cannabis-related election in California, because California is just like that. You're not going to see this in any other state with medical marijuana status. Only in California where they're this fucking like ballsy. You have dispensaries coming out and saying, hey, if you vote in favor or against this bill, we will give you free weed. Like if you vote the particular way that we like, we'll hook you up. And
wait, are you sure? Because it just says all they have to do is present their I voted sticker.
Well, see, the thing is that any incentive to get people to vote is like illegal. You're not allowed to do that. It's I forget the particular term, but it's like you're just not allowed to do that. It'd be like a beer, apparently beer companies and tobacco companies have attempted it in the past, and that's why they're looking at the marijuana industry and they're like, stop, like don't even try because we've seen this happen before.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So apparently, coming to us from the Huffington Post, dispensaries in California City can offer free marijuana for those who vote.
It's not California City, it's San Jose, California.
Well, that's the title, baby.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were reading sorry. Never mind. Sorry.
Spilling hate on me now. The haterade is just like tipping over the table over here. Jesus. Voters who cast a ballot in San Jose's municipal election on Tuesday could receive free marijuana from the city's medical marijuana dispensaries, NBC reported. In addition to choosing a new mayor, residents of the California city will elect half of 10 seats on the city council. A proposal the council is still debating would effectively zone dispensaries out of business, supporters say. So owners are offering discounted and in some cases free marijuana to residents with medical cannabis cards on Tuesday. All they have to do is present their I voted sticker or ballot stub to participating dispensaries. So if you're in Cali, man, you're
in the San Jose area,
yeah, fucking, you get some free weed that day. Lucky you. It'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen any particular backlash for this actually, because I mentioned it before because there was a backlash in previous times when they've attempted this. So for them to just kind of get away with it, I think maybe it was kind of like how you were saying how vague they were. It was like, it's not necessarily that you voted one way or another, but it's just to get them proactively voting.
And one of the things is, like, a lot of situations with voting facilities and things like that, they wouldn't just have you voting on one specific, thing on the ballot.
It's literally, they're voting for the council members, they're voting for the mayor, they're voting for this.
Exactly. So it's like, you could even, because you, as a right of a citizen, you could just pass on like a question. So they could have never even voted for the marijuana thing and they just want some weed, at a discount or something. Yeah.
So Cali, that's the only place that's going to happen. I guarantee that's not going to happen in Colorado. Not
in Seattle.
Honestly,
Colorado? I don't think so. I think a lot of people are still
You said Seattle.
Oh, you said Colorado and then I said
Colorado.
Seattle.
I know, and then I said I don't know about Seattle.
Oh, okay.
I think Seattle would maybe do it.
I don't think Seattle would do it. I think, neither would do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think people in Colorado are too scared to, get out of.
That's why I keep saying Washington, they're more loose over there. They're fucking tree hippies and they're fucking woods and shit.
I think, mountain hippies outsource, hippies by the ocean. I don't know. What is Vox.com?
It's a website.
Hmm.
It's, where this next article comes from. I'm not even going to get into it. It's literally just like a good news kind of thing where I just wanted to perpetuate
positivity.
That and remind people of this particular thing. Legal marijuana created thousands of jobs in Colorado. This comes to us from Vox. And since retail sales of recreational marijuana began in January, the state has seen a small boom in jobs. The Marijuana Industry Group, MIG, estimates that there are currently about 10,000 people directly involved with marijuana, with about 1,000 to 2,000 joining in the past few months, and more expected as high demand for recreational marijuana continues. So it's nice to see that the economy can maybe have a little bit of a boost here, thanks to cannabis. It's something that a lot of people they tap in, they touch upon, and then they don't necessarily delve into, or they don't. I don't know. It's just not talked about that much. But 10,000 jobs.
If you think about it, it's not 10,000 jobs. It's 10,000 families. It's 10,000 people who possibly have children, or people who possibly have illness, or people who possibly they need income, and this is a great thing.
10,000 people less that are unemployed, possibly, because they might have other jobs.
10,000 people that might possibly, now have a capability of affording somewhere to live.
10,000 people pumping more money into the economy legally.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And then not only that, but this doesn't account for the number of ancillary industries that really are supported as well by the cultivation and such. I've reported on one, and it's going to post tomorrow morning, but it was an article where a greenhouse manufacturer in Iowa was seeing a huge boom in greenhouse sales. And it was because of the recent recreational legalization and the allowance of more outdoor growing. So we're seeing, not just necessarily people who want to deal it or grow it, or just people who necessarily want to
profit from the industry.
Or just fucking like, yeah, just
no, most definitely
be a graphic designer.
I was gonna say people who print labels, like us ourselves, are feeding into that industry by printing, labels and printing, all kinds of like merchandise. Like people who sell T-shirts, who sell like raw materials, are definitely benefiting from this kind of situation. It's like it's just all positive. You can't get any better.
So this was funny. This was a funny bit of news. This was probably one of the better bits of news of the week. This comes to us from Como.
Wow.
News in Seattle, Washington. Seattle police uncover historic marijuana grow operation. And like I wish they would say more in the title.
I think that's a lot though.
Well, that's not the crux of the article to me.
Oh no.
Seattle police on Tuesday uncovered one of the largest marijuana grow operations in recent memory, but after they confiscated most of the 2,663 plants, officers let the grower go. After getting several complaints from neighbors about an overwhelming smell of marijuana coming from a home and warehouse in West Seattle, police served a search warrant on the property on Tuesday evening. Police believe the property owner was growing the marijuana to sell in his own dispensary, which they say violates state regulations. Despite the historic nature of the bust, police didn't make any arrest and even let the owner choose 45 plants to keep at the location, the legal limit. Detectives were only interested in bringing the operation back under the limits of state law, and in addition leaving plants and equipment at the scenes, also opted not to book anyone involved in the operation into jail. Police said in a Wednesday press release.
The Seattle police? Fascinating.
Right, so Seattle police setting historic precedents here. Just a couple months ago, this person would have seen months, if not years, if not decades, in jail for the number of plants that he was growing. And now it's simply treated as just another plant. Hey, you're only allowed to grow 20 tomato plants, so we're gonna have to ask you to cut a couple down. Which ones don't you like? That's pretty kind compared to the police that would come in on choppers, rip up all your plants, throw you to the ground, shoot your dog. Like, there are a lot of other ways that could have gone down, and this is a pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
Incredible vision of what the future is going to look like here. So that's awesome, man. Like, can you imagine, like, some dude's growing like 200 plants in Cali, and they just roll up to him and they're like, hey man, you're only allowed to grow 99. So, let's get it chopping. And they didn't even take away the dude's lights, too. They tend to confiscate a number of the cultivation
affiliated stuff,
equipment, and they use it to auction off and create more proceeds for the police department. So just to show that they're not greedy at all, that they weren't looking for money, they were really just trying to set the law back in place and serve true justice. That was nice.
Upholding the law. That is what is important.
Upholding,
sorry.
They don't hold it. Sometimes they strangle it. Speaking of grows and limitations on such.
Back to the Huffington Post.
Back to the Huffington Post by Matt Ferner. California county bans outdoor medical marijuana grows. Medical marijuana growers in Northern California's Lake County were banned from growing cannabis outdoors Tuesday when voters approved an outdoor growing restriction proposed by county supervisors. Supervisors in Lake County, about 100 miles north of San Francisco Bay Area, had voted in December 2013 to enact a new ordinance that would ban outdoor grows in the area. But the Community Alliance to Ban Illegal Cannabis Cultivation, CABIC, it sounds terribly close to havoc, collected about 4,000 signatures.
Over 4,000 signatures.
Over 4,000 signatures.
Nearly twice the number.
The valid signatures needed to turn the issue into a public referendum on Tuesday's ballot. The ordinance bans outdoor cultivation within community growth boundaries, limits indoor grows to 100 square feet or less, and keeps outdoor cultivation 1,000 feet from schools and parks and 100 feet from bodies of water.
The bodies of water make sense, But 1,000 feet in what sense?
100 feet.
Or no, I'm saying like 1,000 feet from schools and parks. Like in what sense? Like 1,000 feet like walking, or 1,000 feet like
as the crow flies.
As the crow flies.
Always as the crow flies. They've tried to argue that. Like there was a dispensary once that they were on the other side of a turnpike, and the only way to get to the dispensary was you had to literally get onto the turnpike and then exit off and then come back around. And if you walked that distance, it was over 1,000 feet. But literally, they counted it, you know, as like 10 or 20 feet because it was across the turnpike from the school. They're serious about that shit. But Lake County banning outdoor farming because they don't want to pollute the local forest and dry up area rivers.
You know, I can understand within bodies of water.
Well, see, here's the problem. People are coming in, denuding the hillsides, damming the creeks, and mixing in fertilizers that aren't allowed in the U.S. into our watersheds. Denise Rushing, a Lake County supervisor who said she supported the ban, told the AP. And this all that she's describing here, people coming in, camping out on the hillsides, damming up creeks, and dumping fertilizers into dams and stuff and rivers, that is all the Mexican cartels that come up into Cali, and they try to utilize the public land to create profit from it. This is all just criminals who come in and try to take advantage of the system. So this is just a product of lingering prohibition here. You know, if we had marijuana farms that were allowed everywhere, and marijuana was like a decent price where you couldn't just camp out in a fucking national forest and grow like a little crop and make enough of a profit where that makes sense. Like, until we reduce the price of pot and it's not some like gold, the people tend to refer to it as it's like, what is it, like really static funds. It's like really, it's like good like liquid. It's really liquid. That's what it is. So until we eliminate that, we're going to keep seeing a lot of Mexicans and a lot of just criminals. You know, it's not necessarily Mexicans, it's just people who work for the cartels. Maybe white people, maybe black people, maybe whatever, bad people who abuse nature coming in and doing this. This isn't people who are residents of Lake County, who are medical marijuana patients who are growing. This is people who are coming in and just trying to take advantage of kind of the light situation that's going on in California. So these people, they're taking a bad situation and they're spinning it in order to make legalization look bad. When really, if you just look at the bad situation, you can see that it's criminals creating a bad situation. It's not, you're blaming the weed for bad people and bad decisions they make. Yeah. They keep blaming pot for droughts in California. Meanwhile, several thousands of different crops, not thousands, but hundreds of different crops get grown in California every year, from wine to fucking grapes.
Wait, why are they blaming the pot for
avocado
drought?
They say that there are so
what, he's
many
so much water
crops that they use
suck
so
a
much
dick.
water.
Get out of here.
And them redirecting the dams and stuff is also fucking up the water supply. And there's so many factors all leading back to cannabis. Yeah. Meanwhile,
as if the wine industry hasn't overtaken the entire like middle half of like California.
A beautiful one was some guy in a comment section was like, what about the thousands and thousands of feet of golf courses that just have pop-up sprinkler systems all the fucking time and just drain the system of water for their fucking useless
green
land.
Fields.
Yeah.
Like, cause like there's a lot of, that was a really good point. There's like a lot of what is it called?
California?
PGA Tour.
Yeah. I feel like it's more of a thing over there. Some more good news coming from Colorado. We reported on this before already, though. This was something that we talked about, it being in motion, and finally it's getting signed into law. Pot banking. Colorado co-op plan signed into law. By Ivan Moreno of the Associated Press. Seeking to move marijuana businesses away from cash-only operations, Governor John Hickenlooper signed legislation Friday that tries to establish the world's first financial system for the newly legal industry in Colorado. The legislation seeks to form a network of uninsured cooperatives designed to give pot businesses a way to access basic banking services like checking. But approval of the co-op plan from the Federal Reserve remains a hurdle. Out of fear of violating federal law, banks don't work with marijuana businesses. That has led to concerns that the burgeoning marijuana industry could be a target for robberies. Mike Elliott, executive director of the Marijuana Industry Group, MIG, said the member of his organization was robbed a few days ago. The cash-only model has become stressful for businesses and their employees, he said. We don't need a vault. What we need is checking, he said. We're looking for a way to take cash out of the businesses. Colorado became the first state to allow recreational pot sales on January 1st. Denver police issued a crime alert Thursday warning of a plot to rob marijuana couriers, those who take dispensary proceeds to pay taxes or bills. The legislation would allow pot businesses to pool money in cooperatives. However, that will only happen with the blessing of the Fed, which has to agree to give the businesses access to payment systems. That has prompted some in Colorado to argue the legislation is merely symbolic. One of the sponsors of the banking bill, Senator Pat Stedman, Denver
Democrat,
said the legislation is an important step. At minimum, it sends a message. It's a send-a-message bill. Hopefully it becomes a leverage point to get some attention and get some action on the part of the federal government, he said, because they hold the keys on this one. We can't solve this problem at the State House in Denver. It's going to require some action and participation on part of the federal officials, and hopefully this gets us there. Interesting. He said that Friday that he had not heard anything from the federal government. The U.S. Treasury Department said in February that banks could serve the marijuana industry under certain conditions, but a lot of banks have said the guidelines are too onerous. Elliott said that this has created a ridiculous scenario where pot businesses must pay taxes, but they end up doing so with piles of cash. We'd love to pay our taxes with a check, he said. But you get the point. It's going to be a symbolic act, essentially, probably. We'll see if the federal government reacts, because the federal government has already come out and said that they would allow it. Or not the federal government, not necessarily, but the Treasury Department has come out and said they were cool with it.
Well, it's not that they were cool, it's that they were willing to cooperate.
Yeah, they're cool with it to an extent. Which is the guidelines that the DEA sent out, which is basically like, don't deal any illicit drugs if you're selling marijuana, don't be a criminal, don't do criminal things. I don't know, it was very, very self-explanatory. But that's it for the news. That was the big article this week. John Hickenlooper in Colorado, setting precedents, setting fucking history in place. Really setting the world straight. We've come to a place where marijuana legalization was just a whisper, was just a kind of stone babble among the cannabis population, and then now the support has become mainstream, and more than 50% of the population globally is starting to finally understand the innocence of this plant and its users. It's nice. It's a shifting tide, and it's a beautiful one to watch, if anything. Wish it would go a little faster.
I know.
Jesus.
Now we get to talk about the stuff around the office.
Yeah. Office stuff. We've been really busy. Busy. I finally got those hemp wick labels printed. That was nice. After deliberating for a long time for just what I wanted the design to be, what I wanted the logo to be, you know, how I wanted the brand to be seen as and represented.
Oh, how he fussed.
Yeah, I was like, do I want it to be seen as an economical brand, or do I want it to look really professional and sleek? Do I want
sophistication?
Yeah, I mean, do I want some gold leaf on this? How far am I gonna go with this? Like, there was a lot of
Gold
stages of conceptualizing and such, but we finally settled on a label. I got them printed. They look pretty good. They're nice and thick. They look great.
Nice and sleek.
Yeah. So now all the 10-foot orders happening in the future will have the new labels, and I'll be working on the new branding process.
Why wouldn't the 150 also?
Because the label literally says 10 feet on it.
Oops.
And yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So I gotta order the other ones now that I know that it looks good and it's okay. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice rebranding, because as a designer, it's something that I love to do. You know, refresh a brand and bring new life to it, and just create new designs and stuff. It's just nice getting to flex the muscles again. So it'll be nice to take some photography of the hemp wicks with the new labels and all that jazz.
And I gotta get to stamping.
Stamping? Oh, like punching holes and stuff. Yeah. This time we've changed format of packaging for the wicks, and we've gone with just kind of hang tag labels for all of the sizes. So we've just gotta get hole punching. It's cool though. I got like a industrial office one, kind of. It's not industrial, but
it's just an office one. Don't get too carried away.
But the hemp wick labels, right? So fucking today I get the labels in, right? And I'm all excited. I post pictures up on Instagram. I tag it hemp wick, as I always do. I always tag our stuff hemp wick. And this time, for some reason, hemp wick, the Instagram,
the handle, the username,
came and commented on our product, or the post rather, and said, "This is not affiliated at all with hemp wick. Hemp wick is a trademark of our own," and yada yada yada. Essentially, just saying like, this is our name.
I wish you took a screen cap of the post.
Yeah. Well, no, I immediately fucking reported them for spam, because fuck those bitches. Like a block. But it was fascinating to see another cannabis company trying to appropriate culture, or appropriate
a word that describes an object.
Yeah, like literally, what the fuck am I supposed to call hemp wicks? Like, how am I supposed to describe it if not as a hemp wick? You know, am I supposed to think of a cute name like Q-tip, H-tip, or something? Like, what the fuck? Like, but immediately when I saw that, you know, I was like, I call bullshit. Because I have seen a number of companies utilize the word hemp wick in their name, and it can be a trademark if they do that. So I went online, and immediately I looked up the two biggest companies I could think of, iTal and Beeline. Yeah. And they both are like Beeline, hemp wick. iTal, hemp wick. So it's fucking bullshit. It's just fucking bullshit.
It's like saying like McDonald's hamburgers versus Burger King hamburgers. They're both like burgers, and that's it, you know?
But you gotta specify though, because somebody trademarked the word burger. You're not actually allowed to use the word burger singularly. You have to add an adjective to it. But wait, somebody might actually trademark that adjective with the term. So
you can't actually use the word organic hemp wick, because
yeah, maybe somebody trademarked that.
Even though that is exactly what describes the product. You can use the word, I don't know, car tire, because car tire is actually a trademarked word, even though that is what you're selling, car tires.
Well, the perfect example I thought was the Q-tip.
No,
the
Q-tip
doesn't own the word ear cleaner. Q-tip owns Q-tip. And if somebody tries to create a company and kind of use the Q-tip name, or Kleenex name, or, you know, that kind of brand name to promote themselves, obviously
there's a problem.
Yeah, like you throw Q-tip on your box, really big letters, it's bad. But you throw ear cleaner on your box in really big generic letters, it doesn't matter. Because that is what is in the box. Like, how, I don't know. It's fucking atrocious in my opinion that this kind of shit happens.
What really upsets me is that
patent trolls and shit.
Not only is patent trolls, but it's just like, are we crazy for this? Like, are we the crazy ones? Like, I don't know. It's just like, this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd.
Well, I literally was listening to the Adam Carolla podcast today, and he's been talking about patent trolls for a significant amount of time now, and how there's like a patent for podcasting that somebody has. And basically what they're trying to do is go to all the podcasts and say, hey, we have a patent on a digital playlist, quote unquote. So if you want to have a podcast, you have to pay us money. And that's what they're trying to do. And
a digital playlist.
He was discussing today with the owner, or like one of the people on Dragon's Den. Is that what it's called?
Oh, Dragon's Den. Wait,
show?
Dragon's Den or Shark Tank or the Tiger Den?
Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den is the UK one.
The UK? Really? He didn't sound UK.
It's either UK or Canada, and I'm pretty sure it's UK.
Well,
yeah.
he was part of Dragon's Lair Den or whatever the fuck it's called.
Basically, he's an investor,
yeah.
And he knows a lot about business.
Yeah, he was talking the whole time about how he, has owned and operated a lot of businesses, and he sold them, and he's just a guy who flips businesses. Like, that's his thing, and he
buys businesses and promotes them.
So they were discussing, like, he would have like a product that he invented. He knows he invented. Like, he thought of it. He was not influenced by anybody else. He puts it out to market, and then he doesn't get a patent on it necessarily. And then somebody patents it post, and then tries to get him on it. It's like a whole racket that people try to essentially abuse the litigation, the government, for their profits.
I just looked it up and it's the UK version.
Yeah.
And then there's a Canada version that was after the UK version.
It might be the Canada one, because he did not, or maybe they just have Americans on the UK one and that's kosher, or something.
It might be.
Maybe. He's probably like next to like a really British lady, and he kind of like balances her out or something. But, yeah, I've never related to a podcast more so than today, with Adam Carolla and the patent troll thing, because I was like, this is just another bullshit situation where a nigga is just trying to sell hemp wick, and somebody says, no, I came first. I invented hemp wick, I'm the ancient who first dipped the hemp plant into the beeswax, and I should, be given all the money and all the attention
because
for it.
wicks have, not existed before cannabis.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a really stupid fucking situation to be stuck in. I keep finding myself stumbling into these, not stumbling, people keep pushing me. Because I'll open my fucking
it's not
inbox and I just find these emails.
I was gonna say, it's not they're pushing you, they're grabbing at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's nice, honestly, because I think about it and I'm like, I wouldn't be any bit successful if people weren't
trying to put you down?
Trying to put me down or trying to, like, take something from me. Like, if they're trying to take something from me, it means I have something.
That they want.
Yeah.
Meaning customers.
That's nice.
And it has really been nice because there are so many supportive people on, the WeedPornDaily, like, blog. Like, we have returning customers all the time, and there's people that
people who prefer our wick over all of the brands.
There have been people that they're like, man, love it, like, this is the best ever, and it's, like, the only thing that I use. And there was, what was it? There was, like, one guy, he was buying, like, the balls, like, the 400 feet, he bought, like, 3 of them or something. Mm-hmm. Like, he went through, like, all of that, apparently. It's crazy, like, people really love it. Yeah.
So, we're gonna keep selling them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we work hard, we make them ourselves. I don't even do anything, he does all the work.
Well, it's not even a matter of the work, it's just a matter of the fucking principle that I'm gonna keep selling a fucking product. And it's not like I'm naming it, it's not like I put iTowel on my fucking, label. I didn't put Beeline. I did not put any other, like, proprietary company name or term or anything like that. I'm literally using the term that everybody uses for it. And it's not even like Huff. You know, you could maybe, like, try to get me with that Huff argument and be like, well, you know, it's the Huff company name. You know, it's literally, like, it's a term. It's, like, literally someone trying to trademark the word purple or something, or, like...
Well, it's not necessarily, like, the word purple. Like, it's like what we were saying, like ear cleaner. Like, if somebody wanted to go and say, like, I'm gonna trademark the word hairbrush.
Yeah, nobody can sell...
Nobody can sell hairbrushes. Only I can sell hairbrushes.
You can sell hairbrushes, but you have to call them...
Organic hairbrushes or...
Dispensers or something. Like,
yeah.
You have to think of another term.
Like, yeah. Just hair straightening, like, tools. I don't even know. It's like some... What did you call it? Susical... Like, reconfiguration of the word?
See, yeah, I was like, what the fuck do I have to do? Do I have to suddenly dip into my Seussian fucking side of my brain and start picking, like, some Snosberry-esque, like, words out? Wangdoodle, Wickadoodle, like...
That's Ronald Dahl, same, different person.
Oh, really? Oh, whatever, man. They're all, like, wacky motherfuckers from the fucking, like, Depression. Shit, I can't argue with him because he's accurate.
Or maybe he's not accurate because they were written like, Depression?
Really? What the fuck? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? That shit was, like, during the Depression. Like, that shit was depressing in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, no, wow, 1964. You put me down, baby.
I'm telling you.
I still don't know if I believe it because it was in the UK. the Great Depression happened
in the UK. It's not like the Depression suck over to like so many other countries. I've actually read about it in Europe. Economic recessions are like overlying, man. If one big country goes down, we all go down. If China were to suddenly, like, stop working, we would all cringe without our cheap plastic products and fabrics and shit. But, yeah. Moving along. We also got some moldy weed this week. That was the
worst.
The infuriating thing of my week. Because not only did we get moldy weed, but we got moldy weed from a dispenser that, like, has given us moldy weed before. And I made a scene the last time. And I told them, this is what mold looks like. This is what it smells like.
He literally brought, like, a magnifying
glass. Or a loop. I brought a loop. And I showed them, like, these are trichomes. This is mold. Like, look at the clear distinction here. I brought an LED, like, I did a whole, like, spiel. And then...
You made a scene.
This time, I got it again. And I was like, how, like...
And he was informed, he was informed that it was, like, they were going to speak with whoever was there...
Yeah, last time. They were like, we're going to talk to the grower, and we're going to get down to it, because, you know, we don't want this to happen again.
Yeah.
And it happened again. And not only did it happen again, but, you know, I went back and I returned it. And I was like, hey, bro, you know, do you have a different strain this time? You know, I don't necessarily want it from the same grower. I want it from a different one. And he said, no, man, I got you. We just restocked.
Went out, yeah.
You know, and so we went back. We swapped it out. And the second that we get, like, fucking, like, back to your place and crack open the thing, I find, like, a leaf curled up with the biggest pile of powdery mildew I've seen in my life.
And I literally was like, get out of my room. I don't even see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, like, disgusting. And it's really depressing that someone who, you know, is part of the cannabis community, who is offering medicine to people, that they don't just look at their product. Like, literally, like, I'm pretty sure any vendor of any product just looks at their stock to make sure that it's not damaged, that it's not fucking infected with disease or something. Like, I'm pretty sure...
Spider mites or shit
yeah,
like that.
exactly. Any fruit or vegetable vendor is gonna look at their fucking batch and be like, what is moldy here? Let me take it out so that it doesn't infect the rest of my batch. You know, like, it's something that comes into thought, because they understand that
they're going to
it's a
lose
danger.
profit, and they don't
And
want to invest in that. Yeah.
essentially, yeah, it's not necessarily that it's even a danger to people, but they know that if someone buys moldy stuff, they're not going to be happy and they're not going to come back.
Or it's like
gonna
somebody
wait.
literally goes and they pick up the tin of strawberries and they look at the bottom and they see half the bottom of the container is all mold. They're going to put it down on the shelf. It's going to decay on the shelf, and you're not going to make any money.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, it's a little distressing that this doesn't extend necessarily to the dank. And it's something that I'm glad that we're seeing in a lot of other states where they're enacting regulation where, you know, you're required to test your cannabis. You're required to make it go through a mold scan and shit. You know, it's necessary. So, well, we went back, and I traded it back, and we got the fucking...
Literally, we traded it back, and then did we get to my car?
We got to your place.
Yeah.
And then, like, I opened it up, I saw the big leaf curled with mold, and I was like, bro, like, you literally gave me the same shit. Like, you lied to me. You lied to me, like, to my fucking face. Like, how dare you? And, I was like, I don't even want weed anymore. Like, I'm in such distaste right now, like, I don't even want to consume any cannabis. So I got a complete refund. And I've been, like, slowly smoking, like, whatever, like, secret stash I've held up. Like, purple nugs that I've been keeping and shit, and it's killing me.
Yeah.
But fucking that, I had to make a statement, though. You can't let your provider, like, if you find a dispenser, you find a provider, you find anybody who is dealing you moldy product or infected product or something that's gonna hurt you, possibly kill you, or kill someone else. You know, it's not just about you, it's about everybody else who gets from that provider as well. You have to really make a statement and say, hey, you know, I can't support your business if this is how you're going to conduct it.
Indeed. Indeed. And we just told them, like, our business is being taken elsewhere. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they give you that whole spiel, oh, you're a great customer, we appreciate
Yeah,
you know,
he did.
We want to take care of you, you know, you're a long time person here.
We
you know,
always
want to be your caregiver. And I'm like, tough, like, care a little more. Like,
yeah.
So, tough times in the toking department here, but I'm not toking on moldy weed. I'll tell the story. I smoked moldy weed before. The last time we got it, I was only able to exchange like
half
maybe,
of it.
Yeah,
or no,
half.
not even.
Maybe even half.
Like
maybe
a third of it, and like it's like
a grams
yeah.
of it and shit. So most of the moldy weed I had to smoke, and I rolled it up in joints and I took them to Disney. And,
I remember that. Ugh.
Every time I would spark one up, it would just be that fucking memorable smell of fucking mold, and it would give me like this
Distaste
and nasty headache, really nasty headache. And I would get this paranoia every time, like I'm slowly destroying my brain every time I spark one up. Like I'm sacrificing the need for medicine to just like hurt myself. Like, why am I doing this? And I kept doing it. So this time I said, like, I'm not
going through this again.
Expose myself to that again. Like, I'm young, but I'm not dumb. Like,
you're young and you have many years ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. So no moldy weed this week.
But we found a new caregiver, though.
Mildew. Yeah, luckily.
Met through another friend that she also medicates, and she was able to hook me up with a coworker of hers that he's a long-time caregiver apparently. So
that's nice.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, we've been having our own successes here in the office. That was a terrible transition.
What success?
But we sold the rainbow socks.
Oh yeah.
We did a pre-order of limited edition, psychedelic, full print, like
gradient,
different, like
rainbow,
different distributor, American made socks, and it went very well. We sold them for I think $25 a pop, including shipping,
which was like the bare minimum we could afford to
yeah. It was under the recommended sales price, but we offered them at that price, and they sold out in just a couple days. And every time I would post like a promo image about it, like when I got the the package in the mail of all the socks.
Oh yeah, that sucked. Yeah.
People were commenting like, "Oh, where can I buy these? Where can I get these?" I'm like, "Sorry, bro. You should have got in on that pre-order game."
But it was like open for like over 2 weeks.
It was up. No, 2 days.
2 days? Oh,
Literally
really?
Only like 2 or 3 days.
And it sold out that fast?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, to me, that wasn't that fast. I wanted them to sell out the first day because it was only 15, if you think about it. But I guess $25 investments, that was a lot.
Well, it's $25 investments, and then it's also like people with money might not necessarily always go on Tumblr all the time.
That too, and a lot of people, they also were waiting for their paycheck, I found, which was something that I didn't take into consideration. So it's something that I'm going to work into the next limited edition model. It's something, obviously, that I'm playing with. I've never done pre-orders before. This was my first pre-order experience, and it worked out really well, surprisingly. I was super scared because I hate gambling. That's a gamble to me. Like, I'm taking everybody's money and I'm saying like, okay, I'm gonna go take this now and buy something. Like, I don't have it already bought, I don't know that it's good. I'm like taking a chance that I'm gonna get like a bunk 15 print sock thing, you know. Like, that was like so crazy. Yeah. But it worked out. The company's like nice.
They have nice business cards.
Yeah, it's nice. So we'll continue to keep working with them in the future.
Mhm.
So expect more limited edition, really nicely printed socks in the future. There'll be kind of a diversification of our usual line of
like the different styles
socks. Yeah.
That's a nice feel.
And they're like extra nice quality as well. They're more than double the price of our normal socks, and it really shows in the quality because they're
so soft.
They're extra big, yeah, for like maybe larger men who find the socks maybe a little too tight.
Well,
or
literally girls who have a size like shoe larger than a 6.5. I have a 6.5, and those socks are small on me.
Yeah. So one size fit all. So they have. Well, see, they're tight on you, but they're also tight on me. And then what happens is they stretch out a little bit. So those socks that I've worn for a couple times, like the ones that I wore to Disney, they're actually stretched out now, and they feel more comfortable.
Oh, that's
good.
Nice. That's good.
But still,
but those,
they're
you don't have
tight.
to worry about stretching out, though, which is so nice.
Yeah. And it's like a special...
It's like a sporty sock.
It's a sport sock, exactly. It has a special seam to support like your arch or some shit.
It's supposed to keep
the page
to be comfortable.
Yeah,
which is nice.
It's nice. Yeah, it's a really nice quality product. I'm glad we could offer it, and I'm glad people really enjoyed it.
I really like it. I thought the print quality was really nice. I was surprised by how it was done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So definitely, I appreciated the craftsmanship of those prints. Yeah, the quality. Yeah.
We also are going to have, or maybe by the time this posts, we'll have one of our articles from the website posted up on a newspaper. On the Oregon Cannabis...
Please get the proper name, please. He thinks he can go and just kind of...
Freeball it.
Yeah.
Oregon Cannabis Connection. That was really close.
It was really kind of them to reach out.
Yeah, it's we got an offer from Keith, the publisher of the magazine, and they wanted to take our Hash and Concentrates article and print it in the newspaper with reference and credit and all that. Yeah. I thought that was very nice.
It was really interesting because I'll be honest, I thought the website would be straight into the, it would just be like a news site. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And I was like, oh, we can print it out and we can frame it and be like, look, maybe we publish something. And then, I looked at it and it was like an interactive,
it's literally like
a magazine, like an online magazine.
Well, it's a newspaper that gets printed and then they have an online newspaper that you can see as well.
And it was really nice. It was surprising to me. I like that kind of interface idea of the flipping pages on the computer thing.
Mm-hmm. It's it gives you that magazine-esque editorial feel more so than the blog
style,
simplified layout that you tend to get. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
We flipped through it and we were checking out all the articles and we're talking about the typography used. And you had caught a glance at a moldy weed article, I think it was, identifying mold.
How to spot powdery mildew. And I was like, you're selling me already.
Yeah, I can get behind this.
I need to buy a couple of these and drop them off at my fucking caregiver's door. Like fucking. Yeah, but that was nice. That was really nice of them to reach out. That's something that we're going to be doing more in the future. I'm actually going to start writing more articles and sending them into more broader publications like the Cannabis, marijuana.com, etc. And speaking of articles that I wrote, what a lovely...
Oh,
like,
that's a
little flow
good... Yeah.
there. That was actually kind of a flow. I recently finished a article I wrote on...
The longest article.
An article that crashed people's phones from the Tumblr app.
Yeah.
And got people unfollowing me and sending me hateful messages and shit. Not hateful, but angry messages. But I did an article on the science studying cannabinoids. So it's basically a big breakdown of the major cannabinoids in cannabis, from CBC to CBG to CBD to THC and all that. And it shows different studies that show the benefits and medical effects that they have on the body, and various studies that have been conducted on regarding the chemicals. Just a lot of, like, basically it was just all CBD. It was just all CBD, like CBD cures cancer, CBD cures this type of cancer, CBD reduces the size of tumors, CBD helps appetite, CBD helps seizures. It was just a lot of just positive studies promoting that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for any sort of fuel to kind of, fuel your arguments for legalization, definitely check out the article. There are plenty of sources to cite. I also took the time to break down each of the cannabinoids with a description so that you have an idea of what the cannabinoid is, how it's formed, what it does, and what we know about it. So you'll see that, let's say CBG, that is cannabidiol, and it sounds like I'm talking gibberish.
I know, sorry.
Cannabidiol, and it is the precursor to all cannabinoids. So it's really cannabidiolic acid, and sometimes it's CBG. And what happens is enzymes act on that molecule, and they help it convert or essentially form into rings and form the CBD, THC, CBC cannabinoids that we are more common with. So CBG in itself isn't common in the cannabis plant, but it's vital to the formation of all the cannabinoids. So you'll learn stuff like that.
Would you say it's like a catalyst to the
It
creation?
requires catalyst to enact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can find all that kind of chemistry shit. Seriously, it was a fucking chemistry lesson that I had to sit down and learn. I was like, wow, this is literally taking me back to high school. But yeah. Check that out if you're interested in how CBD is formed, THC. You can impress your friends with some fucking
Letters.
Yeah, seriously. Cannabidiolic acid, cannabidiolic acid, some delta tetrahydrocannabinolic acid.
Okay, we get the picture. Is that all we got?
That is it.
Wow.
Well, we saw, you want to talk about it? We saw X-Men Days of Future Past.
Wait, we haven't talked about this on the podcast? Are you sure?
We didn't discuss it last time, did we? Or did we?
We did, because we discussed that it had the 420 showing, and that
right.
had the stinky thing,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, what have we done since then?
Nothing.
We haven't watched anything? I don't know.
We watched...
Anthony Bourdain and Face Off.
Well, I feel like we listened to that giant podcast with Anthony Bourdain, and that took up like our whole day one day.
Yeah.
And then, which one? It was The Nerdist?
The Nerdist, yeah.
Yeah. Which was a really good episode, because I really like listening to Bourdain being like relaxed and kind of
Casual.
at ease and casual. I always enjoy that.
Fascinating to see him handle, like, not necessarily
Children?
name dropping. Well, that
Oh.
too. But, it's funny you mentioned that, because at some point, he's listing, like, yeah, I was in Kuwait, I was in Dubai, I was in blah, 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 naming all these exotic places. And then one guy from the back just blurts out, how do you like Disney World? Do you like Disneyland? And they just all burst out laughing, and Anthony is just sitting there, like, quiet. Like, really quiet, just waiting for it to subside. He's like, yeah, like, I go to Disneyland with my daughter sometimes. But
I didn't know that part about the podcast.
it was one of those moments where I was like, oh.
Because I like tuned in like I think like a third of the way through or something. But so we did that. We've been watching some Face Off.
The Lego movie.
We watched like 20 minutes of like the Lego movie. Like IMO, this is my opinion. This does not reflect the opinion of WeedPornDaily at all. But that movie was really like there was too much writing written for children and for like childlike attention spans. Because when I have somebody like screaming like in my face for like more than a few seconds and it continues and they try to stretch it to make it kind of funny and awkward and uncomfortable, I don't enjoy that.
Well, they just kept reusing that joke. Like, I'm falling, and then I fall down and I'm still yelling about me falling.
Yeah.
That kind of like Peter-esque humor.
Yeah. Man, I remember watching that episode in like South America when I was like really young.
Was it in like a little different accent? It was like, ay.
No.
Cojones. Ay.
They had subtitles in Chile.
Oh. So that's what the subtitles were saying. It was like SIAYE.
No, it's just like him in pain because it was a sound. It's like a onomatopoeia kind of thing. You know what? Whatever. I'm done. I'm done. So we've been watching Face Off and Work of Art because we like to relive our like high school days through the critiques.
Well, personally, I just get inspired artistically from it. I look at them and I'm like, look at these bitches. I can do so much better
It's
than
so
this.
trivial. No, it was my favorite was learning, like, there was somebody who I had seen their art online before, and I was kind of, like, really intrigued by it, and it looked so innovative, and I had not seen the technique before, and all this, like, yada yada.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, because a lot of you guys frequent Tumblr, but it's basically that.
It's a woman who she makes like a bowl of like charcoal dust and she dips her fingers into the charcoal dust and she draws with her like literally only her fingerprints.
Fingerprints, yeah.
And so she'll like do it on like drywall, she'll do it on like walls inside of a gallery, or she'll do like whole murals of like these beautiful flowing landscapes and stuff like that.
Landscapes, or sometimes I've seen a lot of symmetrical-esque like movement. Kinetic stuff. But basically, it's
Judith Braun. There you go. Judith Ann Braun. But she's like, I had seen her on Tumblr, and I had forgotten, because I watched Work of Art like a couple years ago. It was at least, I don't even know when flip phones were still a thing. And so it was just funny to see this psycho lady like produce some really interesting work. What have we been doing? We've just been living the work life past like week.
I haven't had time to necessarily dig into any sort of media.
No. I've been playing some... Yeah, you played some Mortal Kombat yesterday because the internet was down, so you couldn't work. Which is justified. You know, that's no big deal.
I like how we have to justify me playing video games. But,
and then...
You played.
I've been playing Okami on and off for the past few days. I'm like 4 hours into it or something, yeah. But that's been good. It's just a replay for me. I'm playing it mostly so that he can, like, experience it vicariously through me.
Every now and then I look back from my desk and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
And I go back to work.
Or, like, when I, like, purify an area, I like to take the controller and put it next to, like, his back when he's, like, working.
Oh.
Because it's it has the rumble feature on the PS2 controller. Yeah, and you can just hear it. Like I like place it on my seat and I just let it vibrate because it just kind of does its thing, and it lasts like for a solid minute. It's pretty intense, but fun game. Yeah, we have to justify playing video games.
Yeah, like you couldn't just be like, yeah, my baby just played like Mortal Kombat for an hour. Like,
you didn't play Mortal Kombat for like an hour. You played Mortal Kombat for like majority of the day. I left at like 11 in the morning or something, and I came back after. And
he was still playing
6.
Mortal Kombat. He didn't get up to pee. He didn't like close the program at any point. Clearly, he had not moved. I saw dust like there was a spider like making a web from his ear to
I saw a can of Coke on the desk that had been already used and left on the desk, and like 2 beverage containers from like
You did some
breakfast
fucking
and lunch.
Phoenix Wrightian fucking like analytic fucking view of my desk.
It's more like touch detective than like attorney. Well, whatever. But we haven't been doing anything because we've just been working. Like, we'll just get up and we'll start working on like orders and stuff.
It's either a day to do orders, or a day to queue content, or a day to shoot, or a day to... I mean, I'm complaining about work, but I don't know. Work doesn't pay that well. That's the only problem about the work. Like, if the work would, like, put a roof over my head and stuff like that, it would be nice. Interesting.
You can get ringtones like that at WeedPornDaily.com.
Yeah, sir. That's actually something that we were going to be working on soon. I was going to be digging into.
And I'm kind of just going to look from afar.
But I've been trying to accrue various different sorts of media to clip ringtones from. Because right now we have a ringtones page on the website where you can get like Jay and Silent Bob ringtones, you can get Pineapple Express ringtones, and some other various ones.
Code Monkeys.
Weed Report, and some other CCC YouTube people. But I want to expand it, and obviously make more. And I've got stuff like the Game Grumps, like I've got clips from them.
Oh, I can't wait.
And things like that.
You have to teach me how to put them on my phone. I would like a Game Grumps ringtone. I don't know how to do it on here, though. It's so fancy. Before, it used to be I could just hold up my flip phone to, like, a speaker and just press record and then set as ringtone, and that was it. That's what I used to do.
You know, Shazam existed before smartphones?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
You called, like, a number.
It was a service, yeah.
And, yeah.
It was like, what was that one? That was like one when I was in like high school. What was it called though? It was like the guy, like you would call a number and it would tell you the movie times and local area and stuff. I have like the sound in my head and I can't portray it, like
movie phone.
Yeah, or welcome to movie. Yeah,
movie phone.
Yeah. So, but yes.
Please insert your 5-digit area code followed by the pound sign.
Spot on.
Oh yeah, I had to deal with PayPal today.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You left, and I almost punched a hole in the wall.
Oh
I got
no!
So angry, and I usually don't.
Why did you tackle that when I was gone? Like you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything till it was happening.
Well, it's because I appealed I tried to appeal a dispute on PayPal.
Like for a little while now.
Let's drop the whole situation. Apparently,
like the guy even listens to the podcast.
I fucking, like usual, I had an order, and I packaged it, and I fucking shipped it, like I always do. Everything fine.
Sent the tracking code.
Yeah, tracking code and everything. And for some reason, the package gets stuck in, like, a random USPS, like, outlet. Yeah,
like a random office. Like, it's one of those, like halfway middle mark kind of offices that they just need to transfer.
Yeah. So it's stuck there, and it was just stuck there for weeks and weeks, and it's literally like a month later, and it's still stuck there.
And they haven't updated the data on the package.
USPS at all, yeah. And the guy filed a dispute with PayPal, and PayPal sided with him. And they said, we think that the buyer is in the right, and, we want, like, they took the money out of my account. Like, it was like $25, boom, out of my account, and gave it back to him. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll appeal this. I went through, their process.
No, you first went to the website and
yeah. Like I went to the website. I went to the transaction, and or the dispute or whatever
section.
And they literally have a button where you click appeal, and I clicked appeal, and neither of the options worked. Literally, like it's like it asks you, do you have another tracking number to submit, or do you have proof of a refund to the customer? Like, that's what they want from you. One of those two things. So I was going to resubmit the same tracking number. And I couldn't do that. It literally was just, like, broken. And then I went and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say that it's a refund, but not really a refund, and then I'll put the tracking code in there. And I literally just couldn't do the refund option either. Like, even if I was trying to do it legitimately, I couldn't do it. So I'm like, fuck. How do I get in contact with them? I go to the help section, which was the fucking stupidest decision I could have done, and I went to their contact us by website. And I sent them a little message, and I was like, hey, your appeal thing is broken. How do I appeal this? And they sent me like a fucking email. Like,
a cookie cutter email.
Hey, you should really check our FAQ. If you're trying to open a dispute, you click open a dispute. If you're trying to click appeal, you click appeal. Super basic shit. And I'm like, thank you for telling me like what I didn't need to know. So today I was like, I'm fired up. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm tired of it. I want my money. Like, I'm not gonna have PayPal take 25 of my dollars for like an unjustified reason.
No, it's not an unjustified reason. Is that somebody is not doing their job.
Yeah, it's like a third-party service that's out of my control is not doing its job. And it's not like a third-party service that, it's like a third party. It's the fucking USPS.
Not only is it USPS, it's the USPS that PayPal fucking supports and makes us use.
That I literally bought the tracking code through PayPal. Like, whatever. So I call them, and I'm like, hey, I need to appeal this claim. And the lady was very nice. She's like, okay, I'll appeal it for you. And I thought it was very funny. She goes, okay, do you have a new tracking number to give me? And I go, no, it's the same tracking number. And she goes, oh.
No, you're kidding
like
me. You didn't tell me
those,
this.
Like, mouth noises. And I literally sat there and I was like, make all the mouth noises you want. Like,
wait, you said that?
No.
Oh.
But I was like, make all the noises you want.
Because
Here's
you're not
the tracking number, and I literally listed off the 25-digit tracking number, and she resubmitted it. And I could tell that she knew that it wasn't going to do anything. But I was
because you know what? No offense, baby, but now that I think about it, they were probably on the fucking website themselves, literally doing the thing that you were doing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like, I asked her, like, hey, can I submit any further information with this? And she explicitly told me, yeah, we're going to send you an email, and we're going to request more information about the case. And I was like, cool. Very cool. And I hung up. And I get an email 5 minutes later, and it says, we've resolved your dispute, that you've appealed, and we've sided with the buyer again. I'm like, what the fuck? It took you 5 minutes to deliberate that and not even discuss it with me? Thank you. I email them back on the same email, and I say, what is the problem with this? Why did you side with the buyer? Give me some information here. And PayPal sent me that cookie cutter email. We do not respond to any emails directly to our email. So I flipped the desk. I ran over to the bed. I punched it a couple times because I didn't want to punch. I already have a couple holes in the wall. Like, I punched the bed a couple times, and I went back on the phone, and I called them again. And I'm pretty sure I talked to the same person.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure, but honestly, they all sound like they're from South Korea or some shit.
No, don't say that.
They're all imported customer service.
Yeah, they were all just, what is it called when they
overseas?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I called again and I told them, like, hey, I want to appeal. And not only that, but I just called to appeal like 5 minutes ago, and you guys rejected me. So what's the dealio? Like, what's going on? And she's like, let me put you on hold. And she put me on hold for like 10 minutes, and she came back and she's like, I have to look more into it. Let me put you on hold even more. And she put me on hold for another 10 minutes. And then she finally came back and she was like, because you are a valued customer for like 8 years with PayPal or some shit, we're going to credit you the $25 to your account.
To only spend on PayPal, or just they're going to credit you the $25?
They're going to credit to me, and I can obviously take it out, but they credited it to me. And I was like, I guess it just took me literally like having to sit on the phone with somebody. Like, this is what it takes in society, not necessarily to go through the channels and the loopholes that they put through, but I have to inconvenience somebody. I have to
bother somebody.
I have to yeah. So there was that today.
Oh, so that's how it got resolved?
That's how it got resolved.
Excellent. I'm so happy to hear.
So I feel a bit better now that I was like, I'm $25 richer. And it's not that I'm $25 richer. I'm like $25 where I should have been. So, less in debt, maybe. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, I make so little money. And then people try to take that little bit of money away from me. It's crazy. I had some chick today. she bought rolling papers, right? And I shipped them to her, and then the USPS shipped it back to me. And I'm like, fine, I don't care. I'll reship it at my own expense because I'm a nice guy, and I reshipped it. And then I get an email from her, and she's like, hey, I haven't received my package yet, and I actually don't want it anymore because I stopped smoking weed. So I can't even use these papers. And I didn't respond to the email because I'm like, I sent it. Like, I can't do anything. And she literally filed a dispute with PayPal, and she's like, I want my money back. And the problem with the dispute is for the rolling papers and anything that's basically like under $5, I don't offer you a tracking code. Like, if you want a tracking code, you gotta like
put money for that, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pay for your tracking code. That costs money. Like, it's 40 cents versus $2 shipping if you add a tracking code to it. It makes a significant difference. So, for the rolling papers, I just ship them with stamps. Because that's the most affordable way I can sell them at that low price. And, she disputed me. And I guarantee that PayPal's probably gonna side with her. Because I don't have a tracking number.
But the thing is,
I told them that she didn't purchase a tracking number and she didn't purchase insurance, but I guarantee they're going to side with her.
I still don't think that, like, it's justified. Like, she didn't purchase a tracking code, so it's like in your policy, isn't it? I'm sure.
I literally have a policy where it says, like,
if you do not purchase a tracking number, it is not our fault. We are not responsible for any lost packages. And not only that, but you also forked over your own cash money for it?
To reship it, yeah.
To reship
so I've already
it.
lost all the profit on that or on the papers. So it's like, sorry, bro, I can't refund you. So yeah, it's shit like that.
And you know what really boggles my mind sometimes, though? No offense, but it's just like one thing. Like, I feel like we purchase from online stuff all the time. I purchase like on Amazon all the time. I purchase through, I've purchased things through wholesalers. I've purchased things through like South Korea. I bought things in Hong Kong. Like, it's just I've purchased a lot of stuff globally and nationally, and had it shipped. And I've never ever really complained about shipping, unless it was one time where I literally waited 6 months for it to arrive.
From Japan.
No, it was from Japan. It was 6 months, and the carrier said it was going to take 1 month. And I said I waited long enough. I would refund. And they had policies and everything. But within a week, within a couple days, people start freaking out about there's package.
Literally the same day, they're like, where's my tracking number, or why isn't it working? Like, even if I ship it the same day and I'm that fast, they're like, why isn't
the tracking number working? And not only that, but the U.S. Postal Service, on their website where you input the tracking number, it says, if you receive this tracking number, please wait 24 hours to make sure that it activates. Because even the fucking post office, they start managing all their shit like after 5 p.m. So you gotta wait a minute. Yeah,
They gotta scan it.
They gotta scan it
like into the box and it gets scanned by some future technology. This is not the fucking, I don't know what Jetsons ask.
Packages will sit in the mail. Even if we brought it in at 8 o'clock in the morning, I guarantee you that package will sit in a bin until 5 p.m. It does not matter.
Yeah. Unless I have them hand scan it and stand in line. That's the only way that happens. And even then, it will get scanned.
It gets put into another container and it sits.
Yeah, it gets scanned, and then guess what the information says? Oh, it's sitting at the facility, and it hasn't moved.
Or dropped off at the facility.
Crazy expectations, and it's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to abandoning the customer service. Like, I'm gonna look so much forward to the day where I have just somebody I can hire to just pump out those robot-esque emails, sorry, but
this is policy.
Such and such policy, this such and such policy, that, because that's the way apparently it has to work. It's crazy. I mean, I'm trying to plug the leaks myself. I understand that maybe part of it is maybe bad UI on my part, or miscommunication at some extent, or something like that. So today I raised the prices of the rolling papers, and they're no longer as cheap as they are, and they will be offered with tracking codes now. But they're no longer cheap rolling papers. They're expensive.
They're expensive brand name rolling papers, yeah.
So there's that, and then I also started printing invoices with all of our orders, so that people see their order, they see all the information, and they also, I put our policy links on the bottom, so they can find all that. Just, it's a whole dance. But I think that's it. I think we've
How long have we
complained
gone?
vastly enough.
I'm not wearing my glasses. What does it say?
Like an hour and 20
Oof.
ish, almost. So thank you guys for listening, as always, to the babbles of the Mr. and Mrs.WPD. I always love when you guys send us messages of positivity, of love, of just support. You know, when you guys like the podcast, like the site, like the news that we post, any particular aspect, I appreciate it, because really, I don't get paid enough for this. So whenever I get like a message that's like, hey, you know,
keep doing what you do.
Yeah, keep posting the news. I appreciate it. I used it in like a college report or something. You know, anything like that, like, I appreciate it.
Who is it? There was one today that I saw this morning that it was like a guy was like, I love that you're like an unbiased news source for weed.
Yeah, it's not just that I post weed supporting information, but I also post things like, you know, marijuana may cause sleep disorders. You know, because we need to know this. We as educated cannabis consumers need to know not only about the positive effects of the plant, but of any negative side effects that may come from the usage of it, whether it be long-term, short-term, or anything like that. You know, it's not something that we should become ignorant of and assume that this is some perfect panacea without consequence, because that's delusional. That's not life. There's nothing in life that comes without a price. So, yeah, I appreciate all of that. Thank you guys for constantly supporting us. Thank you guys for supporting us monetarily, though. Seriously, through the shop. Because that literally puts food into my mouth. And
it actually just keeps the website live?
Yeah, like, it pays for the server bills that we used to have to beg for donations before, and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the point, like a year ago, literally, where the website was going to shut down because we didn't have any money to pay for server costs. And it took, like, huge donations from, like...
Very generous people.
Generous people to get the site back up. So, yeah. Really appreciate the shop. I'm glad I was able to create an outlet for the people to pump cash into, essentially. Jesus. I feel like people were waiting for that. They didn't want to donate. They just wanted to exchange goods like a merchant.
Which is what it should be.
I guess, yeah. I guess that's how it works. I don't know. I was going for that whole free model, but that didn't work out too well. So, as always, thank you guys for listening. Please take the time to take a toke. Take a long, deep breath. Close your eyes. And then if you're not there yet, maybe take a couple more tokes and get there. And then start seeing some possibly shifting colors, kaleidoscopic almost effects happening as closed-eye visuals on the inner workings of your lens of your eye, like a kind of psychedelic projector of sorts. Just embrace the rhythm of Mary Jane and let her dance with you, and really let her show you some new moves, maybe sometime. Really, just embrace the spirit of cannabis and embrace the spirit of yourself, and listen to yourself and learn a bit. Definitely, because this is the type of plant to do that with. So stay regular, guys.